Darren McCarty and Neil Rule can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The #1 midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D, fight day.
Fight day, that is right. Thursday fights. My name is Neil Rule. D-Mac is back in the fold.
The only reason I'm in for this 1-1, and I'm back on a plane.
Yeah,
so.
He's one and done this week, but that's all right. We'll take the one. He's D-Mac. I'm Neil Rule. We got Chase in the Sound Lounge today. Chase, what it do?
Hey, what it do? How's it going today, guys?
Living. Livin. Oh, we got intern Simeon in the house. He's in the chair.
I'm ready to have a day.
And if Justin thinks he's coming into this studio after doing whatever bullshit he's doing and then coming in here and taking the chair, he's wrong.
Hey,
he's
great
missing
helper last night on the OT winner.
That's right. First thing he said when he saw me, I was laughing so hard. I was expecting it. I wasn't sure if I was expecting it right away as the first thing he said.
Crypto McDavid. I forgot who in the chat said that, came up with that one. But Crypto McDavid, intern Crypto McDavid, a.k.a. Simeon, is here. Spencer Raxter in the building also. What up, Spenny?
What up, though?
You were laying down some Woodward wings?
Yeah, we ripped Woodward wings earlier. It was a good show. We talked about potential trade candidate for the Detroit Red Wings, so make sure you guys stay tuned. Saturday at 10 a.m. it drops.
There it is.
Let me give a spoiler. Flannel and I are on the same page.
Whoa!
Do not let that deter you because
About
I
what?
checked about the Stanley Cup champion and what we want to see.
Okay, gotcha.
Right, and who we're rooting for. So usually I'd be like, the flannel isn't. No, I threw the extra playoff Stanley Cup DMAC to overshadow any bad juju flannel can bring to the Oilers. For everybody cheering for the Oilers, I got them also. So flannel and I do agree, but don't let anybody that says, like I did initially when I heard who he was cheering for, same as me, and I went, no, this new behavior. So I enacted it. I wanted everybody to know that I got the 4 Stanley Cup buffer over him.
That's big of you, D-Mac.
Thought I'd update that because, well, Spenny, when I saw that and I heard it live, I just, it really like made me throw up in my mouth, but I got over it.
I got over it.
It's all good.
Okay, so that is good. But no, we got some look, and we're gonna do this from time to time. And yeah, we'll touch some Tiger stuff. Steve has a request for a Javi watch. I'm a man of the people. I'll do what the people want. So we'll do a Javi watch, no question.
Yeah, I got don't you love it? 9th inning defensive changes, and the 2 that are defensive changes get the first 2 balls. Mm-hmm. I loved it. Javi, great glove. Didn't even have to tag anybody.
Nope.
Well, I guess we missed an opportunity though to see those quote elite tagging skills.
Well, it's okay. We got the W.
That is true. They did get the W. So, but yeah, we're gonna do that. Obviously, we have a sneaky amount of Lion stuff today. I haven't heard anybody in the town talking about it, so I have some audio from the experts over at Spot Track and Michael Giannetti and those guys. We'll play that coming up in just a little bit. The circles, like the NFL financial circles, are starting to banter about an Aidan Hutchinson contract. And they put numbers to it. And they don't just pull shit out of the air like this is what they do for a living. So we'll let you guys get kind of your first look on what the expectations in the real world are for a Hutchinson contract. So we'll touch on that. We'll get to it. Intern Simeon, again, a.k.a. Crypto McDavid, who is a student at Missouri, which is also where, as we talked about, Tristan Colin went to school at. Intern Simeon has some little Tristan Colin tidbits that we'll get to.
Well, love of the Tigers. He's always loved the Tigers.
Yeah, he's all Tigers all the time.
It flows. Tigers flow through him.
No, but this is some good stuff. And he brought up some good points, and I wasn't aware of it.
So who are we talking about for the people at home that like me that don't know?
Oh, Tristan Colin, the new offensive line signee of the Detroit Lions.
Line side vet, yes.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Bounced around the league a little bit.
Real quick,
some good stuff.
Real quick, because obviously I'm in my summer mode and traveling around the world and doing all that stuff. And yes, I'm getting my golf in. Don't you worry about that. But the Frank Ragnow news came out when I was away.
Yes.
Can you give me a Cole's notes or a brief update of where we're at with the Big D Energy family as far as what we thought of this? Is this more of a negotiation ploy, or is this something?
I'll level with you, D-Mac. And I didn't even bring this up on the show. I was on the golf course when it happened, so I just saw the alert on the phone. And right away, that's what I thought. But then I read his Instagram post. And then that sealed it.
I got to, and this goes back to, I'm thinking about when this has happened, in my career, guys that retired, Hall of Fame guys that you won championships with throughout and how they sort of did it. And I bet you it goes back to, there's video of Jared Goff and Frank out fishing and stuff like this, just to how, it wasn't a shock in the room. But Frank Ragnow, you got to understand, he's a salt of the earth guy, and he's not going to BS. And what's important and I don't know, I don't think it's a contract thing at all. I think it's a health thing. And it's something that what guys do is when they know that they can't go, right? Why would you not drag it out, right? If it's for money, you drag it out. If it's for culture and because you want to put your guys in the best possible position, even the GM, for a replacement or what position they're in. He knows. How hard do you think it is for him to walk away with the biggest Super Bowl window probably that he has? To me, it tells you how serious things have to be with that toe.
Well, it was what he said on his Instagram post, and it was the timing of it, the June 1st deal, because that allows the Lions to take the dead money and split it up over 2 years.
But do you understand?
He did the organization a
That's
solid.
That's where you and I are on the same page as far as this is serious, and this is
I did think that at first though, without any context.
Well, of course.
But I always think that.
You do. You're the money. You're the money guy. But the
Right.
culture is, and so you would say that Ragnow in this has done them a solid.
Sure. Yeah. Doing it the June 1st
Wouldn't
way.
surprise me. Well, I don't know if Frank's one of those coaching type guys, but he would be around for the culture.
And I would agree with that. So, yes, D-Mac, I'm on board with you from that perspective. And it's just, D-Mac, here's the thing, and I'm glad you brought it up because I had kind of forgotten about it, and this is where I lean on you. The reason that the Instagram post, when you parlay that with the timing, really sold me on, this is for real. And we've talked about this before, D-Mac, with Barry Sanders. And I there are two egregious things we do in this town as sports fans. Number one is the Joe Dumars slander, and number two is the Barry Sanders slander for, the timing of his retirement and stuff like that. And D-Mac, I was waiting to get to you on this. You don't know when the end is until you do. Is that fair?
Yeah.
What was he in like
you
for
know
you?
what? And for me,
Yes.
right? So in saying that, before I made my comeback with Detroit in 08, yes, I knew I had something left. I knew that these were my guys, but whatever I had left, I had something left. No what ifs and whatever. That's why I worked so hard to do whatever I needed to do to get back physically and mentally. But after 09 and after we lost or whatever, I knew I was done. It's just the and it's all good. If we won, if we lost, it didn't matter. I was done, right? So, and you become good with that. I think that it's a lot hard. Also too, Neil. I mean, I'm sitting there with 4 cups. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's a lot easier than it is. This has to be the toughest decision because Frank Ragnow has been the backbone, the stalwart, through all the injuries, but one of the guys that has been a pivotal part. So this had to be an excruciatingly hard decision, but I think it comes down to health. For me, it was my body was done. It was war.
You had gotten every drop out.
It was done, dude. All the 3 sport hernia surgeries and broken bones and all that stuff. It's just that I was done. Couldn't do it again. And it's funny because now, and I retired in 09 or after the 09 season. And the fact is that, so that's 16 years ago. skated last week. I'll skate this week and whatever. Finally, it took me about 12 or 13 years to finally feel good.
Yeah.
Right?
It is, though. It's just,
He's got serious stuff. We know he's got serious stuff with his toes and his feet and stuff like this. So I think you never know when the end is, Neil, but you never know how bad it really is.
And that is also the case. And like, that's why I'll never get up when a guy says I'm done. Like that's it. That's not up to you to decide.
And
that is up to him to decide.
And for the record, Barry might have done Instagram if they had it back then.
He might have.
They only had fax.
They only had a fax machine, right? But yeah, it is, and he did everything. He did everything that he could do. If he could have played, he'd have played. He owes us nothing. He gave it all. He literally gave it all. He gave his body. He gave his body to the organization. And look, make no mistake, D-Mac, that's the deal you guys signed when you signed those contracts. You are giving up your body for money.
We know what we're getting into.
Yeah, you give up your body for money. That's the way that it works. The lucky ones walk away, right? Like the lucky ones walk away. There are very, very few. Most of them limp away.
100%.
So that is the way that it works. Woodward Sports chat thread. Jump into there. Get your thoughts in there. Art Vandelay. The end is when you start getting called sir by a 20-year-old. That's the beginning.
I've been called sir a couple times at the gym. I almost punched a kid in the face. I was like, dude, you done with that bench? He was like, yeah, sir, take.
Dude, one of the interns called me sir earlier. I was like, fuck, man, I'm not getting that old, am I?
It's a wrap. No, you guys are in. Like,
I'm
that's
in my
it.
mid-late 20s
Yeah,
still,
but
Neil.
Chase, you give off more sir vibes than Spenny does.
Well,
That's fair.
But Spenny, you play older though too.
I do play
the
older.
mustache.
Yeah.
All of it. You play older. You play up.
That's fair.
I guess you could say. Also in the Woodward Sports chat thread, get into there. Tammy Chin says, "Welcome back, D-Mac." Well, he's here. He's here for a good time, not a long time this week.
It's a layover. I'm here for a layover.
Here for a layover, no doubt. Steve Wilds. He owes these crying fans nothing. No, Steve, 100%. I
don't think anybody's going at Frank for it. They know
there are people out there.
Nah, well, there's.
I don't like the
idiots
timing.
everywhere.
Why did you do it before the draft? Stuff like that.
Get over it, loser. Like I watched the video. Brad Galley posted a video yesterday of him sitting down. It wasn't recent. It was maybe before the year last year or sometime with Taylor Decker and Frank Ragnow, and he was talking to them about their injuries and like if they could make an X on a human anatomy spot of everywhere they've been injured, what would it look like? And they both were like, you just color in the whole thing. Let me get that video. I can get that video real quick.
Yeah. Dad with Tourette's. I just hate that he waited until he got paid this year and it counts versus the cap. Yeah, but Dad with Tourette's, because he did it June 1st, you can spread out that money. So like you can have that any way you want it. And I don't think anyone's going to complain about Frank Ragnow and his money situation. And he was in a spot. And again, like initially I thought that just because it was weird how you heard about Ragnow's contract out of nowhere kind of, and then all of a sudden this dropped. But then when I saw the post, man, like that was literally it. 0 left to give. For anyone that watched the Bad Boys 30 for 30, I always think one of the knocks on Isaiah Thomas, which is not his fault, is he tore his Achilles at 32 or whatever it was, and it was over. And he said, I literally had 0 left to give. 0 left to give. And it hurt him piling up stats, later career stats like a John Stockton got or stuff like that. And it hurt how he's viewed, I think, in the pantheon of great players. But still, with that being said, the man said the body had nothing to give. And that's the vibe I got from Frank Ragnow.
And also, too, we're talking guys that play at the highest intensity, right? Like 100 million%.
And I got that video if you guys want.
Yeah. Let's take a look at it, man.
It's from Brad Galley.
I think if we got an anatomy chart out just from like an elementary school, and here's the human body, and I gave you guys red pens, and you had to X off the places where you've been injured.
Color it.
I mean, would you run out of ink?
Yeah, just color it in. Yeah.
It was all red.
Yeah. Especially my feelings.
Compliment one another then. What's the craziest injury he's ever played through that he's said out loud? I don't want to break any protocols around here. Craziest injury Frank Ragnow's ever played through?
Just say toe. Just say the toe. Yeah, I think it's definitely the toe because I don't want to get into specifics, but I know what is going on with his toe, and I don't think most players would even be playing football anymore. I think they would have already retired. I think he is the toughest player I've ever played with. So yeah, the toe thing, because I've had a toe surgery that I'm good to go, but I remember what it was like before that, and his was even worse. So I can't imagine that, especially when you play the game the ground up as an offensive lineman. He's wrestling these grizzly bears that weigh 350. So.
Don't. He's just as tough. He played through appendicitis.
Thank God. It's true.
Yes. Found out he had on a Friday.
Friday before the first game against the Bears.
Found out he had appendicitis. Still played.
Didn't tell the team.
No, not many people know that.
When did they find that out?
Not many people can live like that.
Monday after
this guy
the
went
game.
and played a football game. So he's just as tough.
Wow.
Stupid for sure.
Did he just say he played with appendicitis?
Appendicitis, yes. Didn't tell the team.
So, like, had the symptoms Friday, played Sunday, then had his appendix. Oh, I'll wrap up that appendix thing on Monday.
Yeah, probably removed on Monday.
Can you die from that?
You can die from that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if your appendix bursts.
I had appendicitis. I had my appendix
But
removed.
the best part, true offensive line, like true offensive line, matter of factly.
And shout out to Brand.
Just everything's matter of fact. Yeah, shout out to gals. But matter, just as they listed it off, it's just matter. Athletes, just matter of fact. Yeah, I had my groin torn off, or torn off the bone.
Frank Ragnow played with a broken throat. He played a game with a broken throat. He couldn't speak for 2 weeks.
Did you hear about that? Anybody remember hearing about that?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I said.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Like,
No,
I missed
I didn't
it.
know
You're
about
over
the
there
Taylor-
in
I didn't know
shock
about the
right
Taylor
now.
Decker thing either.
Right. Putting your life on the
No,
line.
because I had it. I had my appendix taken out. That's the worst I've ever felt in my life to this day.
Yeah.
Was just the throwing up and stuff like that.
I want to know what game it was. Or he said
He
week
said
one
the-
Chicago.
Chicago, yeah. That's insane, dude. All of it's those men are. You have to be different to step across that line in that sport. There's something wrong with you mentally, and not wrong with you. You know what I'm trying to say. There is. It's either a gift or a curse. One of the two things. For you to be able to just shut everything off, to shut that off, and step across that line where they are looking to hurt you. Make no mistake. They are looking to hurt you every single play. If they hurt you, they win. Those dudes are cut different, man. They just are.
You want to go inside, like, that's the trenches right there. That's the mentality of trench, the best that do it.
I like to think that Taylor Decker has such good mental control over his body that he just told
You
himself,
can just mentally turn it off.
my appendix is not going to burst.
And it doesn't hurt.
And it just didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, this doesn't hurt.
Yep.
No, Taylor, it does.
Yeah.
I had it. It's awful.
You
Like,
could die at any given time, especially with what you're doing, trying to guard edge rushers. It's crazy.
Yeah, so it's absolutely people talking about Nick with the lacerated ball sack, D-Mac.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's so good. I mean, thank God he's a superhuman. So and that's
Lacerated
no
ball
good.
sack
I mean,
is
even,
crazy.
I mean, yeah, guys are getting hit in the junk in the cup. Fucking nuts swell up this big, and I never. Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
I blocked a kick with my nuts one time. It was tough.
You guys don't wear cups.
I was not wearing a cup. No. I dove for it. Like I came off the edge. It was a field goal. I came off the edge, went to dive for it, tried to block it with my hands, got me
Fucking
right
lucky
in the
bastard's
dick.
been swollen ever since.
Yep.
I don't know. Art Vandalay in the chat's got you beat. I went to work one time after I ate Taco Bell. He says Hall of Fame employee.
That's
Deny
fair.
it.
That's fair.
I think that goes up there with Nick with the lacerated ball sack and Taylor Decker with the appendicitis and Art Vandalay post Taco Bell meal. What do you got, Chase?
I took a curveball to the nuts in the batter's box. I looked good, turned my hips, had checked the bat, kept it rocked, but then it fucking turned right into me and dropped me. Wasn't wearing a cup.
There was a bad one the other night in a baseball game on a ball in the dirt that went up underneath the catcher's. Oh, he looked. And the commentators, here comes the trainer. What's he going to do? Tap him on the back. It's just that.
You'll be
You're
all
going to be
right,
all right, buddy. You're going to be all right. Dude, they used to drop you on your heels
Yeah.
to set your nuts back.
But no, dudes are just, they're different, man. They're absolutely different. In that locker room, I don't think fans really have a true grasp, and this is NHL, all of it, man. They don't have a true grasp about what you guys are willing to give up. You'll give it all up, all of it.
I'll tell you. Well, look at the end, like we're in the finals of the NHL playoffs. Look at the injury report like 2 or 3 days after the final game to see what everybody's dealing with, and both teams will have like 15 guys dealing with injuries. It's just you got to figure out a way. As Doc says, the special sauce, whatever it takes.
Absolutely whatever it takes. No, but again, there is a lot to get to. Did real quickly just want to touch on the Tigers game yesterday. They got the win over Chicago. We'll just combine the breaks and Spenny, do it that way.
Yeah, we can just go over.
Had a 4-0 lead, lost a 4-0 lead. I saw people flipping out about it on social media. I'm not.
Who cares?
They have the best record in baseball. They won the game. That's where it ends. Is that
fair?
And
they figured out how to win that game. And a lot of times, what do we see? Some of the games with the Tigers this year is when they get out to a lead early, is that it's sort of not lulled into sleep, but don't stay on the gas pedal. And Chicago's fighting for their lives and whatever like that. So you expect it, but we figured it out. What a swim slide by Willie Perez there.
Yeah.
So I mean, the game's so close, but like we were talking about before, you're getting production through the lineup, and your guys are doing it, and it's more consistent. You got 41 wins, most in Major League. I like the stat that I saw that the 3 times that they've been first to 40 has ended in a deep playoff run. So, and I think that's going to continue.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Motor City 612 in the super chat. Tigers payroll below league average. Last 29 of 30 champs had at least a league average payroll. Do we add at the deadline to reach that, like
yes.
2015 Kansas City? Are we ultimately doomed, or do we believe we are a 1 of 30 exception?
They're going to add at the deadline. And if they don't, fans should be extremely upset.
I think that it's the perfect storm to be able to do something, right? Like, I mean, are you not in the perfect window with the way you have and how you're playing the record you have? You have to load up.
Yep.
Right?
You have to.
With who, I don't know, but if you were going to spend the money on Bregman, and that's the truth, well, look what we've done. Go spend it now.
Yeah.
And did you hear that? Did you read that rumor about Aroldis Chapman and Bregman himself from Boston?
Yeah, that's Nick's play. I think
that's Nick's move.
Yeah.
Nick loves a good screenplay.
Nick loves a good screenplay.
Yeah.
I'll take Chapman for sure, but packaging him with Bregman might be a little aggressive.
It's a lot aggressive.
But I mean, Chapman.
That's aggressive.
We talked about on the heavyweights yesterday, 5-7. Shout out. Chapman, notorious piece of shit, like not a good human, actual terrible dude. I don't care. I'm not bringing him in here to date my sister. I'm bringing him in here to close down games. Yeah, I'm bringing him in here to close down games.
I don't want you to raise my kids.
Yeah,
man. I'll do that.
He's got a couple World Series for a reason. He's one of the most lockdown bullpen arms of the modern era. So yeah, I would absolutely take your Aroldis Chapman.
Phoenix Stardust, how dare you? How do you lose to the Chicago White Sox? So, Phoenix Stardust, they will lose to them at least one more time this year. Yep. Just so you know.
It was a bullpen game.
Yeah, just so you know though, they'll lose to them one more time, and then they would still be 11-2 on the season against them. They might lose to them 2 more times.
Oh no. They
might, and only go 10-3 against them.
Yeah.
So they might. That's the way baseball works. Like, baseball's not football, everyone. There's 1/10 of the games. So in football. So that's the way it works. You will lose to everybody you play at some point. You will. That's just the way that it goes. Except for the Rockies. They won't lose to the Rockies.
Art Vandalay says, data sister. Stefan Diggs just joined the chat. That guy is...
Yeah, that tells you.
The rumors are true.
That tells you what a dirt
ball
he
is.
is.
For sure. The rumors are true about Steph Diggs.
Josh DeYoung, someone check on the Marlins after they got swept by the Rockies. They were just taking care of their expansion brethren right there. They both came into the league at the same time. Rockies have never won a division title, by the way, ever. Never. I couldn't believe that when I heard it.
I mean, when you look at the divisions, makes sense.
But even though, like, through that run in the 90s where they had
Tulo and
the
90s.
Todd Helton and Larry Walker and Vinny Castilla. He was Vinny Castilla when he played for the Rockies, as Jim Rome used to say. And then when he left the Rockies, he became Vinny Cash Stila. So that was a great lineup right there. But yeah, so there's not a lot to report as far as that game goes to me. They were the better team. They nearly blew a lead, but they didn't, so it counts the same. We push on. And today, you know, you do kind of got to get today to win 3 or 4 in the series, and you don't want to push in a 4-game set to the White Sox. You don't want to do that. So it is, you know, season's on the line today. Season's on the line. If they lose, it's over. Hey, D-Mac, though, this weekend.
Must-win game.
This weekend at Comerica, Scooble's going against the Cubs tomorrow. That place is going to be electric this weekend. They'll be pushing over 100,000 through there. I heard the tickets are gone.
When's Scooble versus Cubs?
Tomorrow.
Oh.
Tomorrow's Friday, right?
Tomorrow is Friday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Cubs in town. There'll be 35,000 plus at every game.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to get – what time's the Sunday game? Because I got to round on Sunday.
I believe it's a 110 regular.
Is it a 110 regular old game?
Rats.
I thought you were going to be at MIS.
140.
No, not going to MIS. Rip.
A rip. Okay, let's do this then. Let's take the break. We'll come back. I want to get into this Aidan Hutchinson thing. We have people who do this for a living talking about numbers, so it becomes real. There's something physical that you can look at, that you could hear. We have a cut of their podcast from Mike Giannetti, and then I'll get your reactions to it, and we'll talk about it. As a matter of fact, let's talk about Buddy's Pizza since we're talking about things. Buddy's Pizza, the OG. They started Detroit-style pizza back in 1946. People act like it's new. It's not new. Buddy's made this in 1946, everybody. There's over 20 Buddy's locations. You can go to buddyspizza.com, find out which one is closest to you. Yes, and you can have that on your table for dinner tonight with 10% off. By the way, use a promo code 10meal. Go to buddyspizza.com, order it up, use a promo code 10meal, get 10% off your Buddy's dinner, and boom, you're in there. The original Detroit-style pizza since 1946. Buddy's! They are Detroit. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Hey, Tony, what's up, bro?
Same circus, different clowns.
For sure. You want the usual, the big zip?
You know me too well.
Oh. I threw a little something extra in there for your ma.
Oh,
Hope
man.
she's doing all right.
Ay, guy, sei un santo. You're a saint.
All right, buddy, we'll see you next time, okay?
Grazie.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
D-Mac here to talk to you about Mad Packs. Mad Packs is the hottest new cannabis brand, and they are partnering with Woodward Sports. They've launched May 30th, so it's underway, available in select dispensaries. High-low is getting you high for the low, delivering top-tier quality on unbeatable prices. The Boom Shakalaka is fire, by the way, personally attested to by me. It's the bomb. Blizzard Pack, THCA, Moonrock's a hit like a blizzard. Stay tuned to Woodward Sports for all the latest updates. Get your Mad Packs today. What about Lady Jane's? You know, guys, to be honest, we like simple stuff like gimmies on the golf course. We like uncomplicated, and maybe little baby draws. Like Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Walk in, sign in. Before you know it, you're handsome and clean. Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Why? It's wicked awesome.
All right, we're off and running. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty. We have Chase. We have intern Simeon. We have Spencer Raxter. We have all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. If you want to skip the line, use the super chat. Click the like button while you're in here as well. Mike G, Oilers-Panthers game was awesome. Yes, it was.
It was electric, man.
That was an incredible atmosphere. That was high-level shit. Yeah. It's too bad we can't talk about it here.
The pressure Edmonton was putting on Bob in that overtime period was insane. It was like there was like 4 or 5 icings in a row because they were just dogging.
Get it out of there, yeah.
First time in Paul Maurice's history with Florida.
Yeah.
That going into the third period that they
that's an insane stat.
That is an insane stat.
An insane stat. First time after leading after the first period he lost in the playoffs. But that is even more insane.
And now
so you have to do right. You have to break whatever these trends in order to. The only way out is through.
Yeah.
That's one of them. And then you know what? I saw this because somebody brought up a poignant point. Last year's Edmonton Oilers. I don't know if they come back. But this year's the way th're built, they're resilient.
It felt like there was never a doubt.
Built. What did we talk about the first round that they had to get a grasp of, and that's getting behind. It almost like they need to get behind to get woken up. Now they got off to a good start, scoring a minute into the game, right? But just holding that momentum. But the way that they can just come back and pressure. Florida had 3 shots on goal in the third period.
That's it. D-Mac, and that's why
they're
it's different.
down Zach Hyman.
Yeah. Well, and
but you've added. But here's where the depth comes in because you've added an all-star in Jeff Skinner who was sitting on the bench.
Yep.
So it's always like last year it was the Kyle Apostolakos who was the captain of the Islanders forever, and Florida picked him up at the deadline. So it's the Corey Perrys, you know what I mean? And it's the guys that have elevated their game, and the mobility and different stuff like that. And yes. The question marks on Skinner will always be there, but at the end of the day, he just won first game 4-3.
And he took you to Game 7 last year, so
he's good enough to get you through.
Yeah,
he is.
That and I'm gonna say this a bunch of times, but biggest game of the series. If Edmonton can win Game 2,
oh yeah.
Then you put the Panthers in a spot they got to win 4 of 5, and look, they're good. They are the best hockey team in the NHL over the last 4-year stretch, there is no question. To have to win 4 of 5 against
the 2 best players in the world.
Yeah. What do you got, Chase?
Florida went up 3-0, and they still went 7. So you can't really count out anything until
no doubt
the other team wins all 4 games, because we've seen last year this could go the distance.
It's if you're not watching it, you should be. That's on you.
You're a fool.
That's on you. And I regret, and I know we talked about it for a couple minutes, but we can't because we'll lose viewership if we do. And that's criminal, but I know I'm self-aware, as my good friend Darren McCarty would say. You have to have self-awareness. And I do. I want to continue to talk about it because how often do you get the highest level possible matchup? For real. How often?
It's the 2 best teams in the league with a lot of the best players in the league, and if the only thing that would make it higher level is if you had the 2 best goalies in the league. But it's not like you got bums out there. Bob's still pretty good, even though he's old in the tooth.
Yeah. Well, those are the best goalies you can have if you have a roster like that.
If you've got rosters like that. Yeah.
So again,
is that what happens in a cap?
In a cap world, yes, you have to make choices. But again, it's sad if you don't watch it and you say I don't care because the Red Wings aren't playing, then you don't like hockey.
And you're gonna watch the NBA Finals tonight, and it's gonna be a 20-point blowout by OKC. OKC sweeping. Sweep.
I think minus 750 to win the series is aggressive. DNC, if you're watching, I'd like to get your thoughts on the line. I think minus 750 is aggressive.
I don't think so.
For Edmonton?
No, for OKC.
over
Oh,
Indiana.
yeah, that is aggressive.
It's aggressive.
I
think
the
9.5
last time I heard a stat, the last time that someone was an 8-1 dog was the Pistons against the Lakers.
Yeah, and they weren't quite. It wasn't quite that much, but it was in that stratosphere.
It's like I said it yesterday, D-Mac. OKC versus Indy's like Florida versus Carolina. OKC is everything Indy wants to be, but they're way better. It's gonna be the same thing.
Robert Dupuis, Apple TV tomorrow for the game with Scooble on the mound. That's bullshit.
Again?
Hey, guys. This is how this works.
Why has it got to be Scooble? Yeah, why has it got to be Scooble starts, though?
I wonder why, Spenny.
Because Apple's got the money.
Gee, man, if I'm Apple...
Because they only know one.
Sawyer
They only know one player's name on this team,
Yeah.
and it's Derek Scooble.
If I'm Apple, I don't know why that works out that way. It's $7 for a month of Apple TV. If you want to watch the game, spend the $7.
No.
Okay, then don't.
I won't.
Then don't watch.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
Or I'll find it somehow. Yarr.
All right.
Could go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
You'll spend a lot more than $7.99.
That's true, but I'll have a good time and I'll feel like I won.
Thank you, Spenny. Thank you. See, you're a reasonable. You stand strong on your convictions, but in the end, you're agreeable to reality.
Oh, I know what it is. I know who I am.
I'll feel like I won.
I'll feel like I won.
Then do you, Spenny?
Self-awareness.
Thank you.
Yeah. More self-awareness.
Couple beers, hopefully a hot waitress. There we go.
And we're in there. But Robert, it's Scooble pitching against the Cubs, man. Spend the $7.99 and watch the game, and then I don't know watch a couple of the Apple TV shows or something.
There is some good shows that I kind of want to watch on Apple TV, honestly. They shit bread on actors getting in there. They got some top flight actors in those shows.
Yes. Cody Engel, the tickets aren't even expensive for Friday. You can get in for less than $50, which, that's aggressive for baseball tickets.
Yeah.
It is. DBR in the super chat. OKC's going to choke, but I hate Indiana. So there's some sentiment out there.
That's fair.
I think it's aggressive to say they'll win.
I don't think they're going to choke.
I like Indiana plus the 10 tonight. I like that.
They're giving up 10?
Yeah.
Dude, wow.
Covered in game 1 5 of the last 6 years, and there are some big numbers.
Yeah?
There are some big numbers. Like Nuggets covered 9, Celtics covered 7, Suns covered 6 in 3 of the last 4.
Okay.
And this is the biggest series favorite since the 2018 Warriors.
Okay.
So to put that, we're in that stratosphere. We're getting to
It's
that
huge.
range.
It's huge.
Yeah,
it's a huge number.
Yeah, it's massive.
I just think, Halliburton thought he was going through it, going up against the Knicks. Wait until you get that rotation of dogs that OKC's going to throw at you, brother.
No doubt. And Spenny, look, OKC is a Tupac team. How do you want it?
Yeah.
You don't want them to run.
No.
But they'll grind your ass in a half court too.
Yeah.
So that's it. Look, they're a problem. Make no mistake about it. They're the best team in the NBA.
Yeah.
They are, with the best player in the NBA going
Yep.
right now. They're a problem. I'm just saying, in general, minus 750 is aggressive.
Fair.
And minus 10 tonight is really aggressive.
I think minus
Simeon
10
said it.
tonight is more aggressive than minus 750 for the series.
That's fair. All right. See, we agree. All right, guys, let's do it then. Aidan Hutchinson. You guys know this, where I am. The people at Spot Track. You want to take the break real quick and get into it?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this then so we got a couple of extra minutes. We'll take the break. We'll come back. We'll get into there's numbers for the Aidan Hutchinson contract. It's tangible. It's real. We have the audio. We'll discuss it. And the rubber meets the road, everybody, man. That's what it is. Planet Fitness. We're live at the Planet Fitness studio. We were talking about Brad Galley, Planet Fitness guy.
Shout out.
Ran into him last week there. We were both putting in the work. We got to get Brad on from time to time.
Brad's the man.
Yeah, I don't know why we don't, but we should. But anyway, you should go work out at Planet Fitness. Over 50 of them in the Metro Detroit area. And it was a good grind session in there today. I've been going hard the last couple months, as a matter of fact. And paying the price for it. The body's empty, but it feels good, everybody, and you can do it as well. As we said, over 50 of them in Metro Detroit. Here's the deal. $24.99 a month. You get a black card, Planet Fitness black card. You go to any Planet Fitness in the world. You get access to all the amenities, the hydro massage chairs, all of it. And guys, it becomes a part of your daily routine, and that's how you make the gains you want to make and reach the goals you want to reach. And I've done it. I've been a member there over 4 years. I'll never be a member at another gym. That's as real as I can get for you guys. Go to planetfitness.com or just pull in the parking lot. It's Planet Fitness. Don't pay more money to lift the same weights. Don't do that.
And let me tell you about Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's number one Chevy dealer. We got their golf outing coming up on Monday with Mark Wahlberg. It's going to be a lot of fun. But let me tell you about the deals. You can get a 2025 Chevy Silverado for just $199 per month, or a 2025 Chevy Equinox for only $259 per month. You can visit Feldman's 5 Chevy locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, or Lansing. Scan that QR code on the screen to see their full inventory. It's Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's number one Chevy dealer.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Summer is heating up and Michigan is buzzing. Each can delivers, remember, that's BUZZN. Each can delivers 7.5 milligrams of real THC wrapped in bubbles, crafted with real fruit juice and no artificial sweeteners, bold in flavor, low in calories, 100% hangover free. It's all bubbles, no troubles. Perfect for poolside sips, bonfire nights, lake day chills, or even on the golf course. Available at any Lume's 38 locations across the great state of Michigan. Use code WSN30 for 30% off your entire order, whether online or in the store. Go to www.lume.com today.
All right, everybody, back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, and Darren McCarty. He's not here for a long time. He's just here for a good time. But we also have Chase, intern Simeon. More from him later. Simeon has a good cook-up on Tristan Colin, the recent Lions signee. He played at Missouri, which is where intern Simeon goes to school. We have Spencer Raxter as well, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. But you guys know this. I talk about them all the time. I'm a big spot track guy. They are my thing. I've kind of carved out a little niche here in Detroit sports media. For whatever reason, people aren't in tune with salary caps and contracts. And, look, I know why. I'm starting to get really into the NBA stuff, and it's mind-numbing. So, dude, Spenny.
Oh, I bet.
I have just
with the aprons and everything.
I'm comfortable with the aprons, but how are they going to sign Malik Beasley? Mid-level exception. Stay over the cap so they can sign him. Go under the cap so they can give him the exception. Plus, it's insane, dude. It's insane. But anyway. Was listening to the Spot Track podcast, as I always do. Mike Giannetti on there does a great job. Aidan Hutchinson is certainly something that a lot of people have eyes on. They think an extension could be imminent. They think it could happen this offseason. It could happen during the season. We don't quite know. What we do know is he is under contract this year for an $11 million cap hit. He is under contract next year under his club option as a $19.8 million cap hit. He is an unrestricted free agent in 2027. everyone, like when we talk Aidan Hutchinson and contract extension, the verbiage is, oh, well, he'll get the bag. Well, what does that mean? They talked about it on Spot Track. Here's their podcast with Mike Giannetti. What does an Aidan Hutchinson extension look like?
And that's not the Aidan Hutchinson situation. So, we're talking about a $35 to $38 million per year contract in terms of the APY, and something in the range of 100 to 110 million guaranteed, which is a lot. But timeline wise, which I think was your original question, I don't think waiting makes sense, despite the fact that he did miss 12 games and there's a lot to that injury going forward. I just think they have to keep what they've been doing, which is kind of beat the rush, beat the public outcry with these contracts, and just get something on the books right now that satisfies both sides. And if they have to eat one of these, they'll do so, but not yet. They've been pretty spot on with their numbers and their guarantee structure.
Was the Spot Track podcast and Mike Giannetti talking about Aidan Hutchinson and what he commands. And look, I don't think the numbers per se are stunning when people hear $35 to $38 million per year, 110-ish guaranteed. That doesn't stun anybody, right? Like we all figured that's about what it would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that's the first question. Does it shock you? No, it's in the ballpark, right? Give or take. What did you figure it would be? I mean, this ain't talking out of shop.
No, and look, it's just when you see it, when you hear it, though, it becomes real. Like we've been talking about this abstract thing with the Aidan Hutchinson extension. It's abstract. Well, these are the numbers. You're talking 110, 120 million guaranteed. You're talking 34 or 35 to 38 million per year. DNC ENT says $40 million and $1 and move the hell on. It's not that simple, man. Like it's not that simple. Again, just coming off of what he's come off, I'm not going to say it's a question, but you're aware of it. Both sides are aware of it. But what was interesting to me wasn't even necessarily the numbers. This is what the Lions have, the reputation they've garnered for themselves in the business community. The Lions have done this. You heard Mike Giannetti say, the Lions are ahead of the curve. The Lions are always the one that get these things locked up and they keep it moving. And they haven't been burned by it. They haven't. He said at some point they might, but for right here, right now, they have not. And D-Mac, I think that tells you a lot, and it's not something that we didn't already know, but it tells you a lot about how they do business, right? They're not Cincinnati. They're not Pittsburgh. They're not these other organizations that have these players and they go to battle and they go to the teeth for it for $5 million or $10 million. They're going to get these things done. And above all else, they get it done early. So for the whole, again, this is just further ammo for the whole, well, Brad only re-signs his own guys. Yeah, no shit.
Because they're good.
Because they're good.
Tell me a guy he's re-signed with that contract that he didn't deserve. Like, they sign their own guys and guys they love. And you can, even Jared Goff, right? So you got Goff, Sewell, Amon-Ra. What's that?
Yeah,
right?
David Montgomery.
So,
yeah.
but they're guys. The guys that are their Allen Park, their culture, not only, right, you get drafted and you have to be met at the door and be allowed in to get drafted, but these are the guys that they're going to live and die with. That's why you give the guys the early contract. It's to show the confidence. And, yeah, sure, maybe you're trying to get a little bit of a discount, right, to overall, but that's why term is so important. And in the NFL, what is the guaranteed money? So all the guaranteed money that these guys are getting is more than enough to be able to just focus on football. That's the big thing, too. They get it out of the way for their core guys, so they're taken care of and they know where they stand. All they got to do is focus on football. They don't got to focus on anything else. You can let whoever else worry about all the rest of the stuff. And that's the brilliant part, because these are their guys that they're going to live and die with. That's what I see. There's no him and Han. There's no, if they appreciate you and you're going to go to war for them, they're going to go to war for you. That's the culture they built.
No, it is, and already the people are jumping in here. Brett Larrabee, the mistake was overpaying Goff because they got out. And thank you guys. You guys always give me exactly what I want.
Really? What's the average now and what's Goff make?
He's in low teens now. in terms of quarterback money. And I know that's not what you say. And somebody said in here, well, it hurts when you have a 70. Steve, this would be easier without a $70 million quarterback. Except he's not a $70 million quarterback. He's not. Number one, there's already a restructure that's written in. Number two, his guaranteed money, what they are on the hook for with Jared Goff, starts with a 4 per year. It does, guys. That's the math. I have it sitting right in front of me, as a matter of fact. And you're already seeing this. You're already seeing these numbers skyrocket, and you're seeing Jared Goff around, what's he, like 12th, something like that? Depending on, but see, like, this is where the math gets funny, and you get to kind of frame it the way that you want to frame it. Here's how I do it. I deal in reality, because he's a 4-year, $212 million quarterback in Steve's world, on paper. But in reality, he's a 4-year, $170 million guy, because that's all they owe him. That's all they owe him.
Right now, he is 7th in total money, total value of contract for quarterbacks.
Right, but even that, though, what about total guaranteed money?
Yeah, total
because
guaranteed.
Because that's what matters.
Yeah, total guaranteed, he's way lower. He's only got 170 total guaranteed. That's less than Brock Purdy. That's less than Justin Herbert. That's less than Lamar Jackson. And obviously Dak Burrow and Josh Allen. And Trevor Lawrence. He's got less than Trevor Lawrence.
So stop with the Jared Goff dumb shit that you guys are on. All right? That's what he is. Guaranteed money's what you owe him, what you will pay him no matter what. So that puts him what?
Guaranteed, he's 170. He is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th.
He's 10th. You know where he was 5th? In the MVP voting last year.
Yeah, he is behind Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Burrow, Watson, Prescott.
You know where he was 2nd? In passing yards last year. You know where he was 4th? In passing touchdowns last year. Why does, when you want to have a discussion, why does it come back to shit that's not real?
That's a really good contract when you see what he's giving you.
Say that again, Spenny?
That's a really good contract when you see the production he's giving you. Total guaranteed money, he's the 10th highest paid quarterback.
And that's all that guys see through this. D-Mac, I'm trying, man. I've been trying for going on 4 years.
I know. So, you know what? You're just like, they don't listen. So the ones that do, right, and understand where you're at, that Goff has one of the best contracts for
versus production
in the league. Like, right, with all these other quarterbacks. So it's not has his contract at all, or do you think it is taking away from re-signing any of your guys or getting anybody that you want? Absolutely not. It gets more valuable as it continues into the season and stuff like this. So,
and the total value of his contract, he is 14th behind Tua, Jordan Love, and Kyler Murray as well. It's just, people see the $70 million that he's due this year and freak out. He's not gonna. It's not going to be a $70 million cap hit for Jared Goff this year.
I mean, what I don't understand, I get it whether you like or you don't like a guy, but when it comes down to your fandom, when the coach and the GM are telling you this is our guy, then let it go. You got to live or die with it, because they're going to live or die with it, right?
And here's the other thing about it too, guys. Like this whole Jared Goff $70 million cap hit thing. A rework is already, a cap conversion, I guess is the technical lingo. That's already in the books, I'm sure. But even with him next year at $69.5 million, even with that, they're $14 million over the cap next year. So like, it's very, you can do that number, and then the heavy lifting's over if you want. Or
just get it out of the way.
Or you can stay nimble with it, and if an opportunity presents itself, you can move. You see this is what's going on here. And I hate that this Aidan Hutchinson discussion turned into this, but I didn't make it this way. You guys did. So I'll never understand it. I never will. And that's my problem. Like, Spenny, right there. And look, I know that you're up on these things. I know you are. You're not one of these guys like some other networks in this town that just show up and do the show and, go do whatever after. Like, you're up on this. But still, I did sense, if we were playing poker, I did sense a bit of surprise.
Yeah.
When you saw the hard numbers laid out there.
Yeah, the total contract guaranteed, and I thought he was going to be in the top 10 for sure. Being outside of the top 10 or right at 10, it's a very good deal.
Right, and that's my point. Like, people think, I don't know what else you need from Brad Holmes. I don't know what else you need.
So here's the thing. Where you're at, to what Spenny says, can you just not trust that they're not throwing darts at the wall in these contracts, that they have thought it out methodically to their people, to the Sewell contract, to the Amon-Ra? They know Laporta, they knew Hutch is coming, the Kirby's, whatever it is. He's on point with it. And every contract that's structured up till then, like somebody's going to get that money. I don't know who it is. Maybe it's the Aidan contract or whatever that is above the other positions, right? But when do you spend that? So if you're spending it on your tight end or your safety, it's going to be a lot less than it is on your quarterback. So you just got to trust the process.
Art Vandelay, who does this fan base want at quarterback? Where is this fantasy $2 a day game manager we think exists? Justin Station, some people are just dumb AF and start pointing fingers. Just in case, Goff is the least. DNCNT, Neil, you can't help these people. Just give it up, brother. Octopus, Neil, just leave these bozos behind and stop trying to teach them. I don't give up that easily, I guess.
Yeah.
This is my curse of knowledge coming through. It is. 100%, man. Because I see it, I expect everyone to be able to see it the same way I see it.
And it's pretty easy to see it. It's not that hard.
Like, Spot Track is a literal website where you click on it and it's right there in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's literally right there in front of you. I will say this. Before people turned it into a Goff thing, there was no sticker shock with the Hutch thing at all from the people that I noticed.
No.
And it was telling to me, they're like, give him $40 million plus $1. I think that's a little aggressive.
I mean, yeah, a little bit, but I think he's a top 3 edge in the league, and that's what he's going to make. But you can get him on a little discount because of the injury.
And that's why I would do it now, and I wouldn't be surprised if – the moral of the story is this. From what Mike Giannetti and the Spot Track people said, this is their rep. They get out in front of the curve. They handle it.
It's going to be like the Ali McNeil deal with Hutch. It's going to be like week 3 or whenever. If it's not done before the season, it's going to be done during the season.
All right, there it is. Okay, let's take a break. Thursday fights coming up with Darren McCarty. We also have a Tristan Colin insider that's right here in the studio that we never knew we had until we did. So
after he got done giving the game-winning assist last night.
Yeah. Then he hops on the PJ back to do the show under his assumed name.
Yeah.
And then he'll fly back to Edmonton. And ironically enough, he's out tomorrow.
That's fair. That's right.
I wonder why.
Yeah, weird.
Who's got a game?
Colonoscopy.
Maybe. I don't know. But yeah. Massage chair, right?
Absolutely. Looking to upgrade your relaxation game. Check out Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest with the top brands for massage chairs like Infinity and Osaki. Located near the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. Book a visit at www.massagechairhouse.com or scan the QR code. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Feldman Chevrolet still has tariff-free inventory, so we're extending the Memorial Day sale. That means it's your last chance to get tariff-free pricing on your new Chevy. Get this 2025 Silverado for only $199 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for just $259 a month. But hurry, these low prices won't last. Don't miss your last chance to save big. The Memorial Day sale has been extended at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
The boys of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us Friday, June 13th from 5 to 7 with the heavyweights at Nemo's in Corktown for the White Claw Tigers Tour Brought to you by White Claw and Ben Johnson. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Cadillac, Buick, GMC has deals for everybody. You can get a 2025 Envision Preferred all-wheel drive for $259 per month, or a 2025 Hummer EV SUV for $699 per month. Don't forget, Sierra Double Cab Elevation, $169 per month. Scan the QR code on the screen to check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford, Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC. Les Stanford, together. Let's drive.
All right, hour number 2, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty. We have Chase, intern Simeon, Spencer Raxter in the building, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Click that like button since you're here already. In the chat, KP, Neil crashes out more than Sam Flannel.
No.
Not even close. Not even close. Also, too, in the chat, John Effing Lord, KP, you have to be new here, saying that Neil crashes out more than Sam Flannel. Steve, wow, Neil loves Spot Track now that it fits his narrative. No, I've always loved Spot Track.
Neil only crashes out over Hoppy bias. He goes from Neil rule to Nile rule because he gets the most nihilistic I've ever seen somebody become.
Nihilistic.
It's fair.
I do owe somebody a Javi watch, by the way. We'll get to that before it's all said. Did want to shout out Sun Cruiser, too. They are on board here from the Boston Beer Company. And I don't know if you guys have ever had these. They have the iced tea. They have the vodka lemonade. Iced tea and vodka here, what they just gave me. But welcome to them from the Boston Beer Company. They are on board. And ironically enough, I had one of these for the first time in Miami at a Marlins game.
There you go. That's where you're cruising, Sun, for sure.
And they're good.
Yeah.
Have you tried these yet, Spenny?
I haven't had one, no.
You're really going to like these, dude. Like, really, really going to like these.
I'm excited.
Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I don't need a reason. All right. I don't even give a shit if it is 5 o'clock or not. I'm still getting it.
Couple super chats in there. Mike Hilton threw one in there. He says, I have to poop. Help. Go poop, Mike.
Yeah. That's it.
Just go poop. And then Dat Boy Roy, if you want to read his $20.
Oh, yeah. Detroit doesn't understand, from Dat Boy Roy, Detroit doesn't understand how you win a championship because there's so many new fans. You pay a guy because you think you can win a championship with him, and Brad has done so much good. I will let his choices play out first. No, I agree.
Hallelujah.
Mike G.
Wow, that sounds like common sense.
Mike G. Neil's hate on Javi and Hutch didn't age well. Hey, what hate on Hutch?
You know they're sensitive, Neil.
What hate on Hutch? Hey, I need a little more. And then he did a little more.
Yep.
Hey, I need more than 30 good games for you if I'm going to pay you $80 million with Javi. I need a little more. That's fair. All right, D-Mac.
Yeah.
It is Thursday.
All right.
One of my favorite segments that we do.
That's why I scheduled my layover at Big D Energy.
Hell yeah.
It is time for Thursday Fights with Darren McCarty. Now, what he does, we take a regular old fight, not a hockey fight.
No.
That would be too easy. People fighting, usually Canadians, usually Edmonton Oilers fans. Do we have a location?
We don't. This was requested by JB Smooth. Our guy JB sent this one in there, and he wanted this. So he found this one. No, it's not.
That's not it. Okay.
There it is.
Here we go.
So stop.
Hammer time.
Right here at the beginning, right? So somebody's being the, and obviously we see the aggressor. But what is everybody's feeling? What's that? You can play it a little bit. What's that?
Are you going to go up to the border or stay?
I don't.
You can pull her out.
That's what she said.
Oh, there you go.
All right. So this gentleman.
Oh, it came unplugged, I think.
No shit.
Right. So it seems like the aggressor.
Here, just a sec,
Hold on, D-Mac. We got a microphone issue, I believe there.
Yeah, I think it came unplugged.
Spencer Raxter, the sound technician, will be over in a second to recontact. No, sir.
Try now.
Nope. Still got the buzzing going. Same deal.
Nope.
Got the stick mic in there.
I mean, we have the stick mic. I think the batteries might be dead on it. So
this one good?
Yeah.
Try, Ricky.
Is this one good? Check.
Yeah, it seems to be working. Yeah, the batteries are low, but.
All right.
Get through this fast. Okay, here we go. Everybody's still with me. Anyways, are we looking at this guy?
I'm not getting it, Chase. I'm not getting it.
You're not hearing D-Mac? I say I'm getting levels from him.
Yeah, D-Mac, talk.
Check 1, 2, hey.
No, we're not getting anything.
We're not getting it. Correct. Yeah.
So play the tape. I won't stand up there.
Yeah.
Just leave it there. Because, if we move something else, God forbid. So check this guy out. Okay, walk it out. Pause it there.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to keep the audio going.
Yeah. No. Okay. So can you rewind it a little bit, Chase? Because I wanted to show the exit of the doorway before we played. All right. So obviously, this gentleman here in the blue has had enough and is going to come out. I want you to take. I'm going to play it through now, but I want you to take as his stance so you can play it and watch it. He's very aggressive. Like he looks like he's had something. Well, this guy's just standing there going, come on, buddy, you don't want this. You don't want the smoke. And you're going to take a couple shots at me, threw a couple shots. Oh, you just know.
Pause it right there.
He looked away.
Pause it right there.
Yeah.
You saw a change in physiology, D-Mac.
Well, not only the change in physiology of the white guy, or to the white shirted guy, is the fact that Buddy in Blue, for you to come out, and I'll show this at the beginning, with sort of technique and yet throw punches like that, you're asking for it. So play the end of this, because right here, you know what's coming. Badoom, badoom. Didn't knock him out, right? Because his hands didn't go up, but there's a couple crawl. Oh, that one did it, right? And he's like, oh my gosh. So right here, watch, coming out. Yeah, oh yeah, like he's done it before. Okay, boom, not a good punch.
The guy in the white shirt's trying to take the high road.
Yeah, absolutely. Then he blocked it. Then he's like, no. And then watch this bad looping punch. And then he goes, okay. And he's going to step back. Bam! Didn't even get him. Sort of like, that sort of would be acceptable in the wrestling ring. We teach that at Grind Time Wrestling Academy if you want to come out. But this one here, and notice, guys, most dangerous guy out there, the lefty. The lefty. So I don't know what this was about, but this guy in the blue shirt had no business with that technique, or what he thought. He's lucky that he didn't hit his head on the ground. Right here, hands down, boom. Not even a good punch, but sort of set him back. I like the hop skip right here. Little hop skip, bam.
You got to chug it, Neil.
He didn't even throw a down the barrel punch. It was sort of like a little hook thing, but he landed the second one. So,
D-Mac, any extra points as we let this roll out? You could tell. Can we pull it back up?
Yeah.
Boom. Okay. He lands the punch and he asserts himself. What about the gallop right here? Where do you stand with
I love that. The little crow hop. Yeah, dude. If you're gonna get back up, and I'm coming in. So obviously he needed to do that to shift his weight to the left. I still like the punches that the guy in the white threw weren't textbook punches, but they were good enough coming from the left side. But they're more of look, it's more of a hoop, like a
It's like an open hand slap, but he closed his fist.
No, it's a slap. You can hear it on the.
You could.
That one, he's like he didn't hit his head. But that hurt his back.
No doubt. On the curb?
The guy falls down right into the curb of the crevice.
You can hear it on the video, too. He slaps the shit out of him.
Slapping a grown man.
Yeah, it's a loud slap. Both of them. Pow! Gets him right behind the ear.
Yeah.
Well, he sort of got him that's more wrestling than you think.
Than the gallop.
Yeah, that second one hurt the back. And the phone. Notice the phone falls out of the pocket.
D-Mac, there's a lot of criticism about these guys' fight technique.
It's not good.
No.
Like, I mean, these aren't. I guess these are two guys you want fighting each other because they're not really going to hurt each other more than this. But, yeah, their technique is 2 out of 10.
Yes. But
I mean, Buddy's
solid
got
contact.
does Buddy have shoes on? I don't know if the guy in the white even has shoes on. He doesn't.
No, good catch. I didn't even notice that.
So he may be Kumite.
He is shoeless.
You know what? Low key, this is my favorite part of this segment.
The little things.
The little things that we didn't notice, even though we've watched it like
You
8
see
times
that little
already.
shovel chase, replay that right here. Do you see when the guy goes back? Like when you said he changed his physiology, but watch his feet. Just watch the guy in the white's feet. Watch him. Here's with little weight shift. Bam.
But yeah. Okay,
Little
you got to
weight shift
see.
there.
So there was some good technique.
That was his best technique. I give him like a 6 out of that because then he unloaded. Buddy, get your hands up. And then if you're going to get back up, where do you think he's going to throw another punch? So.
Oh, man, that curve into the back.
Yeah, that's got to hurt.
I don't think the guy in the blue has ever been punched before. Like,
No.
ever been hit before, like one of those guys.
Well, I can say this. I don't like to see that happen to somebody. However, the guy without shoes gave you multiple off-ramps.
Yep.
And you blew right by him.
Escalated it.
Yep. So you got, in the end,
Like if you
you
look
got
at
what
me,
you
I haven't
deserve.
seen the guy in the white defending
Stupid
himself.
prizes.
yeah. I mean, again, so all in all,
Watch a guy. So moral of the story: watch a guy without any shoes on, white pants
that offers you multiple off-ramps.
That's it.
That's it, everybody. All right, let's take the break. We'll be back with more, but that was Thursday Fights. D-Mac,
Let me tell you about
the socials, right?
Socials, the social media. You can follow Woodward Sports on all different social media platforms, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, or Twitch. Subscribe at Woodward Sports to all different social media platforms. You know, we're bringing you the best content in the state. It's Woodward Sports.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that I trusted for 4 Stanley Cups. Dr. Jeff Pierce here to keep you in the game, performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty. We have Chase in the Chase Lounge, intern Simeon here as well, Spencer Raxter. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Some reaction to Thursday fights with Darren McCarty. Pete Smith, the best part is seeing that the guy who always wears comfy Skechers will take the L.
Feet were comfy.
Lots of talk about his Skechers. Mike G, the old guy, is wearing Ryan Ermanni's new Skechers. So there's that out there. Also, these guys shouldn't be fighting.
There, number one.
Art Vandelay, this ain't pickleball, would have been a good line before the smack. Yes, it would have been. Great Beard 78, DMAC 1, microphone 0. Hey, we found a way, DMAC.
Found a way.
We persevered, man. Props
That's what we
to
do.
you.
Making changes on the fly.
Not everybody at this network.
How'd I handle that?
You handled that fantastically,
you know what?
DMAC. Yeah.
You could just tell.
I was ready for a chair to start going. Thought there was going to be some furniture moving for a second. Yep. Yes.
No, there it is. Mike O, the dude in the blue, loves screwball shots. Screwball is awful.
Screwball is gross.
It's awful.
Yeah. Not a fan.
No, nor am I. But yeah, that's it. So make sure.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter whiskey. Oh God.
My guy, dude, I was playing golf a couple weeks and then my guys were all over that.
Yeah. The screwball, the fireball, any of the balls, I'm good.
Yeah, we're past that time in our lives, Spenny.
I never had the fireball, Gene.
Really?
No, never had the era.
It started with Hot Damn for us, and then it kind of moved on to Fireball. So.
Oh yeah.
You're gross, dude.
Fireball is like Big Red. If you don't drink Fireball, then
no, man. No, that's it. They're saying that mine and Spenny's mic is good, and D-Mac's mic is quiet. So,
it's the first time I've ever been called quiet.
Yeah. I don't know what the deal is.
I don't know either, but we're almost done.
We are almost done. So intern Simeon's offline now, then, right?
Intern Simeon is offline.
Okay. So what we'll do then is
we need him online.
I agree, but
do you want him to come share the mic in the booth?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Intern Simeon, slide into the booth with Chase. And basically intern Simeon, who is a student at Missouri, which is also where, by the way, Tristan Colon, newest addition to the Detroit Lions, interior offensive lineman, where he went to school as well. So little did we know that we had a Tristan Colon insider here in our midst, but we do.
We do.
And it is intern Simeon. So
only place in the city you'll find this kind of inside information.
You're not getting this kind of breakdown of Tristan Colon anywhere
else.
Even if he's got to share a microphone, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
He's going to do it. He's going to come through in the clutch. And the moral of the story is this. It was interesting. Salty pork chops. I pegged Neil for a Four Loko guy back in the no. Spenny, were you a big Four Loko guy?
Yeah.
You've dabbled in it? Or you were a big Four?
Yeah. I mean, yes.
Both? Yes.
I shotgunned a couple Four Locos in my day.
Did you get to meet my buddy Harlan down at the Grand Prix?
Yeah.
Dude,
your mic's not on, Chase.
Jeez.
Yeah, it is. It's on right now.
Is it?
I mean, it's not muted.
Okay.
But I just say anyway, my buddy Harlan, he's shotgunned a couple Four Locos. He's insane.
Yeah.
Is he? All right. Okay. Detroit Dabber 313. The people I've met who are from Missouri jokingly call it misery, LMAO. Well, we'll ask. We'll ask the question to Simeon. All right, Simeon, you about ready to rock, man?
Yes, sir.
He's got some tidbits on Tristan Colon, new assignee of the Lions, when he was at Missouri. And Spenny, to be honest with you, these little facts were kind of staggering, by the way. So,
I'm excited.
So, Tristan, you have Simeon, you have 3 points on Tristan Colon during his time at Missouri. Number one.
I do, yeah. So he took over after a redshirt season, started every game, 38 straight games to close his career out at center.
Okay.
That's the first one. So no missed starts once he got the job.
So that was after a redshirt freshman season.
Yes, redshirt freshman.
Right?
So he played his redshirt freshman, redshirt sophomore, redshirt junior season, started every game, 38 in a row.
And that's at center.
Yes, all at center.
So D-Mac, there you go right there. And it's not something where he's done a ton of it in the NFL. But I will say this. If you start your entire career at center in the SEC, you can play football. Period, end of story. More on that in just a bit. But D-Mac, right there, and that's a little uncovered gem in the NFL.
Can we go a little bit deeper?
Yes.
How about in the trenches in the SEC?
Right.
Does that give you more of a check mark or more of a star? The durability, right? What do I always preach? And I'll say it again. I don't care if we're 11-6 and make the playoffs and have to play on the road or whatever. I want healthy. I want availability for the playoffs on all my guys. I don't care how you get there. So this guy proving that he has availability, he's been durable and stuff like that, doesn't mean he's not going to get hurt, because it's 100% injury business. But the fact that he's got some tread on the tire, playing arguably in the best, it's not even arguable, right? Like, they're already men. It's more closer to AAA.
Correct.
When you say AAA baseball or, even the minor leagues, but they start to become men, and especially for me in that lineman or the inside lineman stuff, right? Because those are where all the dogs are, and I'm not just talking to Georgia. I mean, what's the average of a guy that he's playing against? What's the average size of the guys he's playing against inside?
Yeah,
right. Spenny, we're not talking 280 like when we were growing up and stuff like what you're getting into. So maybe the maturation and the adult, right, of a guy that's played 4 or 5 years in the league that he develops, but coming out of there, it's got to help.
No doubt. Point number 2.
Number 2, 2018 season. So this was redshirt sophomore year. Top of the SEC in tackles for loss allowed and sacks allowed.
That's Missouri's offensive line.
Yes.
Where he's the captain.
Yes.
He's the
correct.
center.
Yeah.
So there's numbers for you. Fewest tackles for loss, fewest sacks allowed by his offensive line where he was the center. D-Mac, I keep going back to this. And it's controlled, right? Like, I'm not expecting this guy to walk in and start. But Spenny, I'm not ruling it out just from the standpoint
He's going to be fighting for a spot for sure.
No, and that's where I'm driving at here. It's something where in the NFL, he didn't do a ton of it. He did some of it.
Yeah.
So he did some of it, but he didn't do a ton of it. Have they unearthed something?
I don't know. I'm not going to go that far.
No, I'm not saying he's going to be Frank Ragnow. Let's be real, though. I'm talking about when an all-pro retires.
I'm not going to say he's anything more than he is. He's a good depth piece that's going to be fighting for a spot. And I think that speaks more to the situation of the Lions' interior offensive line than it does for the talent of Tristan Colagna, however you pronounce it.
I think it's depth. You're excited about the depth. That's what this line's been built on, and especially now, it's going to have to be more of, it's not one guy that's going to step up, whether you put Glasgow at center or whatever, but it's been this unit, right? It's a unit work, and what this adds to me is like he's a great first line depth guy. If he's better than that, Neil, he's going to get the opportunity. He could be a starter.
All right, last one.
Yeah. Do you want the numbers about how we were one of 3 offenses for over 279 passing yards, over 200 rushing yards? Clemson, national champion, and Oklahoma, semifinal participant, were the other 2 on that offense. And then 2016, he won the Team Weightlifter of the Year award during his redshirt season. So, like I said to you, that's a Dan Campbell dude right there.
That's a Dan Campbell
kind of
guy.
Dude.
So there you have it. Won the Team Weightlifter award. They averaged 279 yards passing, over 200 yards rushing for the entire season offensively. And name a Missouri guy in the NFL on offense right now. You can't, right? Like there's just not a lot. No. So they were able to do it. I'm just saying, I'm not calling it. I'm not making it a get right or anything like that. I do believe he's going to be a factor at the center position. He could be a factor at the center position. And Spenny, as you said, he'll get a shot.
Yep.
But I will say this, D-Mac. When you go through those kinds of numbers and you throw in Simeon's little weightlifter of the year and all that kind of stuff, What kind of guy does he seem like?
109%. You understand why they opened the door for him and invited him in, because it's Dan Campbell through and through. I mean, and the rest of this team, he's a Detroit Lion, right? That's more like the Dan Campbell moniker is the Detroit Lion moniker now.
And that's fair. No, 100% it's fair. It was interesting. I liked it. There may be something there, dude. Maybe they found
Maybe,
something.
like,
Maybe they found something. I'm not saying he's going to be in the Pro Bowl, man.
Yeah, no.
I'm saying when you had nothing and then you turned it into that, it could be something.
You were hungry and I fed you. You were cold and I clothed you. I think he's going to be used to push the young guys. I think if he wins a spot in camp, it's going to be center. I think that's what it will be. If he wins a starting spot in camp, it would be beating out Graham for center, which I don't think is going to happen. I don't think he's going to have the juice to beat out
Give
Tate
me a line. Give me
or
a betting
Christian.
line.
For him to win center?
Give me a bet. The Lions starting center, and then give me the line.
Okay, Lions starting center, Graham Glasgow, minus 210.
Okay.
Tristan Colin, plus 175. Tate Ratledge, plus 500.
And that's a good line.
Thank you.
I was waiting to get 2-1.
Yeah.
On Colin, and I was going to take it.
Frank Ragnow, plus 2,000.
Well, you always got to put that one in there. And then you got to do like Olin Kroon. Plus 10,000.
Creed Humphrey, plus 6,000. Yeah.
Well, you got to.
Yeah.
Because someone will bet it, and it's free money.
Mm-hmm.
It's free money for the house right there. Woodward Sports chat thread. Antonio D in the super chat. I feel like Frank will be missed, but the replacements
Frank will
fine.
absolutely be missed.
I got killed on social media yesterday because I said that the Lions' offensive line won't be as good.
They're not top 5 right now.
So then they're not as good.
No.
Be careful. Spenny, walk that back.
Yeah.
You're going to get murdered. I got killed, man.
Yeah, I mean, people are very... I don't know. They're not a top 5 offensive line. They're not going to be as good without Frank Ragnow. Flat out. That's not right. That's not me going on a limb. That's not a hot take. You lost the best center in the league. You're not going to be as good.
That's all I'm saying. Flow Guy 25. Will we see a 1A and a 1B at center? I feel like from a quarterback standpoint, that's not optimal.
It's not optimal, and that's why I don't think it's going to happen this year. I believe Tate Ratledge is going to be the center of the future, but I don't think it's this year.
Woodward Sports, Mike G. Chat, clap it up for intern Simeon. No doubt. It was interesting. It was just interesting. That's all I'm saying.
Love that Mizzou insider. It's good stuff. Like I said, won't find that anywhere else.
There it is. All right, let's do this in. We're a little bit late for the break. Let's get into it. Let's talk about Ben Johnson law, everybody. Yes, sir. Justice, it means different things to different people. Whether it's a settlement or a verdict, justice is always worth the fight. If you've got a case, contact the fighters at Ben Johnson Law today and get the justice you deserve. Tough, tenacious trial lawyers. Ben Johnson Law. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
It's part beauty, part beast. It's for those who dare to be different, for those who want to stand out, and for those who are built for more. The all-new Ineos Grenadier combines strength and style for an unmatched driving experience. Sold exclusively at Feldman Ineos of Waterford.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
All right, Woodward Sports fans, whether you're hitting a game or just chilling, or maybe you're heading to the golf course, Jars Cannabis has you covered. Jars is home to Michigan's largest lineup of rec cannabis products. They've got over 30 locations across the state, repping Michigan in a big way. 9 locations, yes, 9. right in the Metro Detroit area, so there's always one nearby. If you're in Grand Rapids, I'll be there Monday and Tuesday. Madison Heights, I was there earlier today. Or Milan, I haven't been there in a while. Get ready, new stores are coming your way soon. Go to jarscannabis.com to see where you can get your favorite product today, like the Darren McCarty brand. Yeah, jars near you.
All right, we're keeping it pushing. Everybody, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, Chase in the Chase Lounge, Spencer Rachter, intern Simeon. Mike, hey, Neil, please have Simeon break down a weekend in the Ozarks. Have you been to the Ozarks? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Hey, you have really? Okay. We'll get that going coming up before
Great
you
show.
leave. It was a great show. It was a very, very good show. All right. Spenny, I heard you talking about it. And I think, D-Mac, with the Tigers, getting back to the Tigers, I think they're pretty much locked in their spot for the most part. There are 99 games left. They have a 6.5 game lead in the division. The math says that it's looking very, very good, bar, some kind of catastrophe. With that being said, D-Mac, and I'm noticing this around town, all eyes and all discussion have kind of turned to the trade deadline. What can we do to improve? What avenue can they go? And everyone's playing the hits, right? Like they're, get a bullpen arm, get a dominant bullpen arm, despite the fact the Tigers have, one of the better bullpens in baseball. And I'm not going to ask you, I'm not going to say, hey, what do you want to see done? Like I'm not doing that. It's more along the lines of, how confident are you? If they didn't do anything, how confident are you?
In what?
In this team where they're at?
They win the American League. I think they've proven that with the record and stuff like that and the way that they're used. I think for me, out of anything, it's just like that bat that can come off the bench or pit with power that threatens the lineup, whether it's playing every day or not. Because you look at the way this team's put together. Right? It's put together with guys doing multiple jobs at different times, at different spots in the order, right? Whether it's defensively or offensively. So, again, goes back to what somebody said about the Detroit Lions and trusting Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell in their decision-making and stuff. And that's where I'm at with Scott Harris and A.J. Hinch. And so is there, if you have any skepticism or, I guess, worried about anything, are they gonna, if they have the opportunity, go spend that money? But again, they're in a different position than I thought they'd be in at this point. So I think they can be shopping around, and I think that what it would be, is this defense good enough for you with Parker Meadows back? Like the outfield's good enough. I think it can. The outfield is good enough.
Yep.
Is your gloves on the infield good enough to seem to be getting the job done? So I think it's always interesting because where do guys fit in? So for me, if I'm thinking of one guy, yes, you can always use a bullpen because this pitching staff is built through 3, 4, 5 guys, other than Tarek Skubal, but everybody else, it's like how A.J. Hinch uses a bullpen. And matchups and stuff like that. But just to have that bomber guy sitting on the bench that you can't match up against that could, tie the game or win the game with the swing, that's the guy they're missing.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Salty Pork Chops. Why get another shortstop? We need a third baseman with pop. And Spenny subliminally, he was whispering it earlier, but he also put it on the show sheet. I saw people in the chat talking about it.
Jeff Passan said it's the best fit.
Who is it?
Jeff Passan.
Bo Bichette. And I want to see if we can have a realistic discussion about it because, look.
Is financially, first of all, Neil, I guess financially doesn't matter. It's baseball.
He's free agent next year.
Free agent after this year. Like, it'll be it's going into his first free agency.
So the first thought in my mind, if you're ever in the market for a rental, it's now.
Exactly.
Like, that's what this is set up for. So I think the conversation of going and getting a rental and not hurting down the road, but that's where you save the Bregman money for. You get a Bichette and you get an arm like a Chapman or something like this. You ask me the question, and I go, wow, you know what? You can give Dodgers all that they can handle.
Absolutely.
And like,
I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. And you could sub 2 or 3 names in, but the Bichette type, right?
He's a power hitting shortstop. He is consistently an 800-plus OPS guy.
Now. Like, look,
he's back,
let's
yes.
cut the shit. He sucked last year.
He sucked. He was dealing with injuries. He did a lot of stuff, yeah.
He sucked. But he appears to be back.
He's got 7 home runs in May.
Yeah, not back, but trending towards being back. He was a 5-WAR player as like a 22-year-old dude. Like, it was absolutely
multiple All-Star game appearances, over 800 for pretty much every year of his career except for last year where he was dealing with injury. And he is a free agent next year, and Toronto is going to lose him for nothing. So they're going to trade Bo Bichette. Why not us?
Unless they plan to pay him.
They're not going to pay him. I don't think he'd sign with them.
Well, I would go back to it and say, you just gave Vlad Guerrero $500 million. Like, that's going to be it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're committed at this point if you're Toronto. And then my backup to that, DNC, ENT, Bo Bichette, Vlad Jr., Lansing Lugnut legends, bring him home. I guess this would be the rare time where it is bringing him home.
Yeah.
Because he was at Lansing. But, okay, and that's fine. I understand it. What are you prepared to give up?
Hao Lee.
You think that's going to get it done?
Yeah. Hao Lee and an arm. You throw in none of the Tigers' arms they got right now are super, like, you got to keep them. But, yeah, I would do Hao Lee and an arm.
And you think Toronto would take that?
I do. Hao Lee's top 5 prospect in your organization, and you throw an arm in there.
Are we sleeping on he is a shortstop.
He is a shortstop.
That's a shortstop.
Yep.
That's a premium.
Yeah. But he's also a free agent next year.
Are you prepared to go more?
Depends on what more is. I'm not trading McGonigal, Clark, or Rayner. If you want Lorenzo, that's what we could talk. Like, that's where maybe they'd have to sweeten it a little bit if you want a guy like Dyron Lorenzo. But that is someone you're willing to talk about because what Jose Briseño's been doing. I think Hao Lee that's something that they would like a lot.
But I forgot what Lee's status is, but I don't know. I don't think they're going to
have to give up Briseño or McGonigal for a guy who's a rental.
Here's
they won't
my
have
question.
to, and they won't do it.
So is Bichette, like if we're talking about him, strictly a rental, or is this the guy that you would sink money into?
I would sink money into him.
Because they still, look, I know everyone's big on McGonigal and stuff like that, but
it'd be an extreme stretch. We had Rogelio on yesterday. Extreme stretch for McGonigal to sniff the MLB next year.
Correct.
He's still a couple years out. Rayner obviously still a couple years out. Max Clark's still a couple years.
What's Bichette's contract he's going to get on the market?
A big one, a very big one.
Is that a contract? But what I'm saying
that's a contract I would give up.
Like the sign and trade where you get it a little bit cheaper, but is this a guy you want to spend 3, 4, 5 years on? 5 years probably, right?
Well,
or is it longer?
He's finally free. Like he's unredistricted
so
free
he's
agent,
going
no
for
arbitration.
the dollar.
He's 28. He wants the 10-year.
So don't worry about it. Let's go for the rental.
I'm doing either.
Let's go for the rental.
100%.
It's vacation time. We're taking that cruise. 2 weeks across the Atlantic over to Greece. It's going to cost us a couple dollars, but it's going to be worth it.
That'd be sweet.
And I think
I've never been to Europe.
It's not out of line, right, to think that way.
Yeah.
It's just if I'm Toronto and I'm doing this, I want Rayner or McGonigal to reset my clock.
Not even close am I giving either of those. See you later. I'll find somebody else. Have a good day.
Yeah, I think it's not like, I think you have, like, it'd be interesting.
If I'm Toronto,
insert
this is what I'm thinking organizationally.
Yeah,
right?
that's what you're going to think. That's what you're going to think.
Spenny's right in what you're not going to
give
up. Then you go loop around, and you might come back and go that Detroit might have the best offer.
Yep. Detroit. Oh, we'll definitely have the best offer. We have the best farm system in the league.
No, it's what we're willing. to give
what we're
up.
willing to. Yeah, you're not. Nobody's going to give you.
You don't get to come and pick.
McGonigal after this year he already is a top 5 prospect. He might be the number 1 prospect in baseball after this year. You're not giving him up for a 1-year rental. Not even close. Not even thinking about it. Laugh him off the phone. Same with Rayner.
But if you're doing Bichette. If you're doing the contract with Bichette, again,
if you're doing the contract,
then
9
years.
You can.
But even
this is it.
Yeah, but that's not something that you factor into the trade. Maybe if Bichette had 3 years, 4 years of team control, would I talk about Bryce Rayner? But a free agent, no way. Not even close.
I'm just telling you, I'm being Toronto in this situation.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it and say, okay, this is my chance to reset the clock. And all I need is somebody else.
Yep.
All I need is somebody else involved.
I'll give you Hao Lee and Jace Young.
I don't want Jace Young.
Nobody wants Jace Young.
Yeah. Great talk.
Yep. No, but they want Hao Lee.
What about Terry Mills and Lindsey Hunter?
No, Hao Lee is good. He's a top 5 prospect in your organization. And for a rental, that is more than you can expect from a team.
Well, like, again, that's the thing, though, right? Like, you got to get me off of him, because if I just spent $500 million on Vlad Guerrero, I'm not in the business of letting my cornerstone, right?
Yeah.
Cornerstone shortstop walk out the door.
That's fine. Find a better offer. We'll get somebody else. We're the best team in baseball. You don't need us, or we don't need you. You need us.
Okay.
We hold the power. We have the best prospects and the best team.
Well, the Dodgers are
We're not bending over
the
for
Dodgers
anybody.
are going to give me their number 2 overall prospect.
Well, then have fun
and
in LA.
And you have to go against them.
Have fun in LA.
Okay.
Not a fucking chance am I going any of those top 4 guys.
I just like doing this exercise.
Yeah, no, that's the waters
the
it
point
is.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but you're right. That's the waters that we're in there. Okay, let's do this in. Let's take the break and let's talk about.
Also, the Dodgers' number 2 prospect would be our 7th best prospect.
Losers.
Yeah.
Except for the World Series.
Except for the World Series and 4 MVPs on their roster right now. That's pretty cool.
But your Game 1 World Series starter, he plays for us now.
He does.
Again. And you paid us. All right, calling all Tiger fans. It's the White Claw Tigers Tour. That's right. Woodward Sports hitting 4 of the top bars in Detroit to watch a Tigers game live on the network. Spencer and Easy, Friday, June 13th, the second stop. They'll be at Nemo's, iconic Nemo's in Detroit. You can knock down some sun, do whatever you got to do. So be a part of the fun and see our reactions live on Woodward Sports Network to one of the hottest teams in baseball. It's a White Claw Tigers Tour brought to you by White Claw and Ben Johnson Law.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
How do you think you won?
David
Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's number 1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We got Chase, intern Simeon, Spencer Raxter, all of you. Jump into the chat if you want to get your thoughts out there. If you want to skip the line, use the super chat. The away fan just dropped a super chat, didn't even say anything. So shout out.
Man of many words.
Yep. Steve O'Baby. Neil, to be honest, I don't see any big trades when it comes to the Tigers. Why break up a winning formula, which is why the bullpen is a top 10 bullpen in the league. No, and that's something. Look, Steve O'Baby, these are fun conversations to have. And, look, I do this show. If you come up to me in public and I'm out having a drink somewhere and we sit and talk sports, I'll basically do the show when I talk sports with you because that's what I do. That's how my life works. Also in the chat, Chris, what if I told you all this cute trade conversation we have until the deadline are a waste of time? Tigers are stand pat minus 950. And I will say this.
I guarantee the Tigers make a move.
Well, I mean, move of substance.
I guarantee they're making a move of substance.
Give me an example.
A
starter?
All-star adjacent bat. Yes, a starter.
Oh, wow.
They're the best team in fucking baseball, people. Listen, these guys aren't stupid. Like, they're cheap, but they're not stupid. They're the best team in baseball.
That's an important caveat,
They have
though.
the best MLB, or they have the best prospect system in baseball. They're going to make a move for a bat or a pitch, an all-star adjacent player. Whether it be a bat or an arm, I think it should be both. They're going to make a move. You don't sit on your hands when you're the best team in baseball.
Let me see here. I was just looking at MLB free agents, like who's on an expiring deal and stuff like that. And I don't know, like we could do this all day long, but I think the chances are closer than any of us would want to admit that they don't do a move of substance.
I disagree.
That's just the vibe I get. They like their guys, man.
It's fair.
They do. And I could flip that on its ear and
I
say,
like having an everyday third baseman too.
I would too. No, Spenny, who are you talking to
Yeah,
here?
and or like I said, if Bo Bichette would be perfect, the situation's perfect, it lines up perfect. He's got gap to gap power. Would be. Could you imagine Bo Bichette just? I mean, we've seen it before, hitting a gapper in Comerica and fucking legging out a triple. Like, that's the type of guy you bring in. You're in the spot to do it. You have the expendable assets to do it. And Vierling's injury is not looking good.
No, it is not.
Per Rogelio Castillo, not looking good.
Not great, Bob.
You put Bo Bichette as your everyday shortstop, and then you rotate third base with Javi Ibanez and McKinstry.
This Tiger stuff, D-Mac, went from 0 to 100 real quick, didn't it? Like in the chat here, Gromit 0237, Tiger's money needs to go for keeping Skubal first.
It's not money. It's not money. Bo Bichette is not money.
It's wild, though, isn't it? Like, look at all these little subsets that we have to talk about now. In trade deadlines, and getting a bullpen arm, and going and getting Bo Bichette. Then if we do get him, do you extend him? Oh, Skubal's not signed, by the way.
Yeah.
Flaherty's on a one-year deal, right? Like, he is.
Technically. I mean, they can opt him out. But he's here next year. He's under contract for next year, but it's I think it's
a team option.
Team option, I believe.
Okay,
or it
that's
might be a player option. I'm not sure.
I'll have to. Usually, I'm on top of that stuff. I'll have to take a look at it. But I don't know. It's just life moves pretty quick, doesn't it? Which is baseball for how slow it is, and there's 162 games, and it goes on forever. The entire universe of the Tigers changed in the span of 9 months. And it's wild, D-Mac. When we sit here and put all this stuff back together,
Dude,
it's absolutely
I used
wild.
I used to look in that booth at KG and just feel apathetic till the beginning of August. So like a year ago right now, it's like you guys would be talking about baseball and I'd be looking at like new grips for my
for your golf clubs,
for my wedges.
Flaherty has a player option for $10 million.
Player option, yeah.
Yeah, so he won't be taking that.
No.
He'll be going to market, as I would be as well. But no, it's crazy. It's crazy how fast that everything changes with this baseball team. But no, guys, like at the core, I'm with you. 100% I'm with you. This is an arms race, man. Like it is. And these are the waters. The Tigers are in the pool now with the Yankees and the Dodgers and everybody else that's going around it. And
you're swimming ahead of the pool.
Right. You're
leading the pack.
You're leading the pack right now.
Yeah.
And I would expect that they act accordingly. That's the baseline, right? You guys have the best record in baseball, so act accordingly.
Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Talk to the person that you're talking to. Don't talk to the guys that are doing their job. Oh, the guys on the field, they're doing their job. Oh, the guy managing, is he doing his job? I think so. Is the general manager doing his job? So who are you talking to? Do you want me to, you want me to say it? You want me to say it in your tone, or do you want me?
No, D-Mac. I think it goes without saying, obviously, but still, through all of that, everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, as you said. And everybody else around you that you're competing with is going to do it. So act accordingly.
Hey, because you're skeptical.
I am. No, D-Mac, I am
you're
skeptical.
on whether Lil Chris is gonna pull the trigger.
I am skeptical.
It's not about
D-Mac.
You know what?
break me down. I'm afraid. All right.
Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to hear. You're afraid, but I believe, right? Reading the tea leaves and don't whatever like that. When push comes to shove, that where we're at. Because here's the thing, right? Imagine the old man had it right here, right? And the old man, baseball was right, so he still never got through the finish line. Chris is well aware of this. So, and what I tried to, why it's so imperative, what I said at the beginning, is that they put themselves, the manager, the general manager, the team has put themselves in a position where different conversations like Bo Bichette and guys like that as a rental have come in. You know, I'm going to tell you right now, I trust that if that something will be done. Now, Spenny, I don't know if I trust the fact that they aren't gonna. They know that their window is near, and they might throw a guy in there that you don't want them to throw in. I don't think McGonigal, but another guy.
Yeah.
So just be ready for that. But I do believe, in my heart of hearts, that when it comes down to it, these conversations are being had, and it will not be a money thing.
I'm 100% in on this Tigers team is going to get an impact guy at the trade deadline. No matter who is the owner, no matter who is the GM, what you do throughout the history of baseball, if you are the number one team at the deadline, you bring in a piece to push you even further. The Tigers have a legitimate case to win the World Series this year. They also have the best farm system in the MLB. You can do that. They're going to do it. I wholeheartedly believe it will. And like I said, I think it's not going to be Bryce Rayner. It's not going to be Kevin McGonigal. It's not going to be Max Clark. And I think Jose Briseño is also in that no. It's going to be Hao Yu Lee or Thyron Lorenzo that gets moved if they're looking at a serious guy.
It's too bad Tom Gores wasn't the owner, right? Because then you wouldn't be scared. But the fact, but Lil Chris might pull out his Gores. Right, a little bit of Gores at the trade deadline. That's all you're asking.
Right.
That's
and
all.
D-Mac,
that's all you're asking.
I'm not saying they won't.
Right.
I'm not saying they won't. But I'm not
But you're
guaranteeing
skeptical.
you they will. Yeah.
You're skeptical, and you should be, right? But I'm going by if the truth is that we were in on Bregman and we were going to spend money and go down that path. Well, there you saved $160 million. The money's right. So I'm going by Neil, what I was told.
What I was told. No, but D-Mac, but see, here's where it is, all right? And the Scooble thing that's hanging over everyone's head, in the background, in the forefront, all of it. The Scooble thing to me doesn't even play into all this and my attitude about it, because it is aggressive to go to do the biggest pitching deal in the history of baseball is aggressive when historically it ends badly, right? Historically it does. And I'm not even.
But these are two different conversations.
But these are two different conversations, D-Mac. And
two
that's
different
what it
conversations.
is.
You can buy yourself some goodwill with the Scooble contract if you go out and at least say we're trying to win this.
We're winning a World Series.
We're
Bingo.
trying to win this World Series.
And that's it. And if you treat this like a 2-year window, I won't be mad at you. 100% I won't be mad at you. If you say, look, we're not in the business of doing the biggest pitching contract in the history of baseball for a guy that's pushing 30. I would say, hey, I disagree, but at the same time, I cannot kill you on that. But if you know that, you use it as a strength.
Yes, and I'm looking.
Use it as a strength.
And I'm looking at this as this is what you do. This isn't what you do if you're the Yankees or the Dodgers, or not saying that. This is what you do if you're a fucking baseball team. Anybody, I don't care if you're the A's. If the A's are leading their division and they have the best record in the league and they have the number one farm system in the league, you're goddamn right they're going to go get a fucking all-star at the deadline. That's what you do in baseball.
Because if money is not your currency, here's how it works in baseball. If money is not your currency,
prospects are.
Prospects are.
And you have more than anybody.
So
more good ones than anybody, right?
If you don't want to spend the money, fine. then weaponize the
This
farm
would be
system.
like the Detroit Lions going into a season where they're 15-2, their whole team is healthy, and they have $100 million in cap space, and be like, no, they're not going to do anything.
Right. Like, I'm just saying, guys, like it's
And
God, you know what?
Here's the thing, right? And all the guys that on the field and whatever else can do is just keep winning. Because the more you keep winning and maintaining that first overall and doing this, you're gonna put the pressure on to go get that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, if they don't give one of the top 4 prospects, they aren't getting a significant
Yes,
player.
they are. Because our top 4 prospects are better than the top 5 of any other team in baseball.
Yeah, but Spenny,
our
like,
5th guy is the number one on any other team.
Odds are you're gonna have to give up one of them.
This is where you can't speak in absolutes because you don't know what the market is.
I can tell you what the market is for Bo Bichette, and it's not one of the Tigers' top 3 prospects.
If Toronto moves him,
they're going to move him.
Again, I can't understand how Toronto's going to drop $500 million on Vlad Guerrero and then just say, all right, we're good. I can't see it. I can't. Unless they're compensated to move off of him.
Thyron Lorenzo is your 5th prospect. Hao-Yu Lee is your 6th prospect. And Jaden Ham is your 7th prospect. All of those guys should and should be moved at the deadline.
Which is, and I get you, Spenny, but at the same time, the market is yet to be determined. And usually, it's funny. Usually you see, because it's always a reliever.
Yeah.
Never a closer. It's always like a late inning reliever that's not a closer that gets moved first, right? Always. And you can tell what the market's going to be by that move. And if you see that happen, like July 15th or whatever, and some really good reliever gets moved for a prospect's number 6 overall to his team, that's not good news.
If you go to Toronto right now and say, I'll give you Hao-Yu Lee and Troy Melton for Bo Bichette, they would say yes.
I'm not convinced of that.
I am.
And again, like you have to look at where they are organizationally. They've already committed $500 million. So, I mean, I can't see why that they would just be like,
Bo Bichette's not re-signing in Toronto.
This is our guy.
And anybody can offer him just as much as you can. It's not like you got his bird rights or anything.
Woodward Sports chat thread. DNC ENT. Okay, yes, we are 99% making a move. But if there isn't, is it an abject failure? Well,
yes.
That story gets written at the end.
That's true. Yeah, if you win this World Series, it doesn't matter.
Then it was not an abject failure.
But after the day after the trade deadline, yes.
Fair.
Unless you win the World Series.
And totally redeem yourself.
yourself.
Well, don't overreact to the trade deadline. Weren't there people giving an F to the Thyron Lorenzo deal?
Yep.
Yes.
And now he's the 5th overall prospect.
Yeah, Ben Verlander.
Yeah.
What up, Ben Verlander?
Come on the heavyweights, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I never asked you, how was the Rob Parker thing on the heavyweights?
I yelled at an old man for like 15 minutes.
What was his point? I didn't get the backstory.
Oh, his point was Max Fried. So his 2 points for Max Fried deserving the Cy Young this year over Tarek Skubal, where Tarek Skubal lost in the playoffs to the Guardians last year.
On short rest, yeah.
And Max Fried is it's a feel-good story of him going to New York and not choking.
Oh, he also said it's because he has to step up and fill in for Garrett Cole.
That's what it is. Yeah.
He should get credit for
It's the feel-good story of Max Fried and Skubal losing last year in the playoffs are why Max Fried's better.
Last year has equivalence to this
Well,
year.
I mean, what the Fried thing is, though, that's at the same point. That book has not even begun to be written.
Nope.
And because books in, Yankee books have a dateline of October on.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I felt like I composed myself or held my composure. I yelled at him though, but I didn't call him an idiot, which I really wanted to.
That's fair. Do we have any breaks? I'm sorry, man.
No, you're good.
We're good?
Yep.
Okay. Because I think that about does it, by the way. But that got spirited at the end.
We're talking about championships.
It's scary.
We're talking about championships.
It's like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
This is wild how this changed in 2 years.
Now we got two teams that we're talking about like that, with the Lions and the Tigers.
And the Pistons are potentially a move away.
Yep, from being in that
jumping up into the space.
And the Red Wings are fun to watch.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
D-Mac. You got any Marner updates? Where are you at?
Why are you coming to me for the Marner update when I don't want him?
No, sorry.
Right?
Marner vibes.
Thank you, D-Mac.
Marner, I don't know. I mean, wait and see. I guess he's gonna get paid or whatever like that. So we just wait and let it play out. I mean,
That's not what we do.
There's other shit to watch. Go watch the finals. It's one of the best finals
You know
of
what?
any
Well, watch
sport
some
in
real
history. Like every game's gonna be that way of these two teams. And I mean, if you are a hockey enthusiast, you are missing out. I'll be in Western Canada watching game 2. So
What do you got going on this weekend? Tell the people. It's kinda cool.
In Saskatoon, Saskatchewan right now for another NHL alumni weekend. Last weekend was in Moncton, New Brunswick. This weekend's in Saskatoon. I'll be in Grand Rapids Monday and Tuesday for the Meyer LPGA. So if you're lucky, I'll be back Wednesday.
If you behave yourself.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, December 3rd is the Shoresy game this year. Tickets go on sale at LCA tomorrow.
Shout out.
Oh, very, very cool. D-Mac, how many gates are there in the Saskatoon airport?
I'll let you know.
Never been?
In the Moncton airport, there was 4.
I was going to say over under 4.5.
I got to think there's 6.
Okay.
I'm going to take the overspending. But yeah, I got to fly to Calgary and then fly back an hour. So I actually got to go over Saskatchewan to come back to Saskatchewan.
Sounds like a trip to Boise State when you go commercial. Connect in Seattle. There's nothing worse than that. Flying over, you're like, hey, there's where we're going.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Yeah. See you in 4.
All right, D-Mac, we'll catch back up with you next week.
Yeah, everybody have a great weekend.
D-Mac, for Chase, for
Deuces.
intern Simeon, for Spencer Raxter. Now, wait a minute. Young Justin's coming in here into the studio right now, acting like, he's got stuff going on. Yeah, like I need to hurry up here.
Kid, only because it's allowed.
Shout out Sun Cruisers, by the way. This is my first time I had the iced tea one. It's pretty good. All right, see you tomorrow. Well, see you later.